Greetings everybody from the mean streets of Great Shefford, where I have packed up the war wagon, I have packed up the wife. We're about to embark on the arduous 5.5-hour drive to Scarborough for this year's edition of Fortress Festival. And once we're there, I'm going to show you the sights and sounds of the festival of Scarborough. I'm going to show you everything that I get up to when I'm there. I'm going to give you my first impressions of day 1 and day 2 of the festival, what bands I saw, what bands I liked, and much more. Sit tight, buckle up, and let's hit the road. All right, it is day 1 at Fortress Festival. The sun is out. It is already pretty hot, but I have got a lot that I'm looking forward to today. Most importantly, the Acrococker live Fortress Forum conversation. I've been counting down the days to doing that. As far as bands I'm looking forward to, Old Man's Child, Dodheim's Guard, Horde and Rife. I'm going to try and catch Groza, and then, of course, seeing Acrococker do Corensin from start to finish. That is something I am super excited about. But before we take a walk outside and head to the venue, I thought I would just very quickly show you where we are staying for the weekend. And if you are planning on coming in 2027 and you've never been to Scarborough before, maybe I can give you a couple of tips to make sure that you have a great experience. And we'll start right here in the living room. As you can see, we have gone the holiday let route this year. There are a bunch of holiday flats, holiday apartments that are relatively close to the venue. I think we're only about 10 minutes walk away. And there's a lot of hotels in Scarborough. I know that Fortress is actually thinking of partnering, or planning on partnering with a couple of hotels for next year's event. But for my money, I think as far as value is concerned, you cannot beat these holiday apartments. As you can see, really nicely appointed, as they say. We've got a nice kitchen here, very comfortable living room, smart TV, dining area. This whole thing is costing us £581 for 3 nights, which relative to places like London is very cheap. And we actually have 2 bedrooms. So if I piss the wife off at any point over the weekend, then fortunately, old Jackson is not going to be destitute and sleeping on the street. As you can see, very comfortable as well. One thing to warn you about, it hasn't happened, I think, more than, we're not talking double-digit instances here, but there have definitely been a couple of occasions that I've read about where people have booked accommodation only to have that accommodation cancelled later on. We actually had one guy comment on the Fortress Facebook group that he arrived at a place called the Central Hotel, had already booked, paid up for everything, only to find that the place was shut. So shout out to Ben Richardson. I hope he found a decent place to stay. But yeah, just something worth keeping in mind if you are coming here. I'm not saying you should double book, but maybe have a plan B in mind, and probably want to keep the old pentagram and goat skull off of your profile photo if you're booking on Airbnb or bookings.com. I don't know whether or not, the Scarborough folk aren't, or the Scarborough locals aren't all that keen on the black-clad mob that descends on this place once a year. But yeah, either way, better be prepared than underprepared. But there you go. Very nice place. Really like it. Now let's head outside. Let me show you what Scarborough looks like. Welcome to Scarborough. Scarbados, as some would call it. A seaside town that time has kind of forgotten, but actually for the most part, unlike some other seaside towns in the UK, they actually still do take care of this place. And in a way, it has retained its charm without being completely gentrified. Like, there's still some stuff about it that looks pretty old school, few buildings that could maybe do with a lick of paint, but I really enjoy coming here. I did say we were close to the venue. We are also close to that absolutely stunning view over there. And below you can see Nearly fell over the fucking railing there. Below you can see the venue in all of its glory. You can see the sea over there, and then further down you can see the Broadway, which has a bunch of restaurants, some nice bars, and is a nice place to escape to if you feel like you need a reprieve from everything that's going on at Scarborough Spa. Scarborough Spa, by the way, I think, and I'm speaking under correction here, I think it was founded, or they actually discovered a mineral spring here in 1612, and then they built the building that ultimately became this venue around it. But I'm not quite sure how old this venue is. They have refurbished it even in the times that we've been coming to Fortress Festival. But yeah, it's an old building, but works really, really well. I think it has a capacity of about 1,500. One of the cool things is never feels oversold or overcrowded, even though, I mean, this year, for example, it sold out really quickly. There, of course, just in case you didn't pick her up on camera earlier, the Into the Necrosphere producer page. Soon to retire from her post, because she is now carrying future Into the Necrosphere host, Jackson Smith, or whatever his or her name turns out being. We actually don't know the gender yet. We're going to find that out in a couple of weeks. But yeah, she's been extremely helpful this weekend, as she always is. And it's going to be a shame when she retires from her post. Obviously, it's going to significantly lower her inheritance from me. But you know, that's the price that she's going to have to pay for allowing me to knock her up. And here you go. You'll see when you arrive here, you've got one of the restaurants that you can have food at. There's 3 food stalls and 1 restaurant, so you're pretty well taken care of. But like I said, if you don't want to be here all day, then you can make your way over to the boardwalk. There's plenty to do there. If you're feeling a little bleary-eyed, you've got the coastal view, the sea view. You can see there's a couple of folks in the water there. Not much by way of waves, so probably not worth packing your surfboard. But there she is. A stunning venue, an old venue, but a very characterful venue. Let me give you a quick recap of day 1. So we started day 1 by watching Groza in the Grand Hall. Even though the band was on at 12, really kind of, you know, there were still a lot of people outside busy doing wristband exchange and things like that, but the Grand Hall was pretty full for Groza, and they were really, really solid. I think they've spent a fair bit of time not necessarily trying to shake the Maguire Tribute Act tag, but certainly tarred with it. I think with their last album, Nadir, they started to, you know, really make a concerted effort to move away from that, and I think it showed on stage. The new material in particular was very, very well received. Performance was rock solid, and I think that they have proven, or are in the midst of proving, that if you are persistent and you turn in consistently good performances, people will eventually take notice, no matter how loudly you wear your influences on your sleeves. I thought they were really, really good. Great start to the day. After that, I took a stroll, took a walk through the surroundings, ran into a bunch of the Legion, which was really fun. 2:45, we were in the theatre room for the Fortress Forum talk with David Gray, Jason Mendonça, and Sam Loynes from Acrococker. Great conversation. Did a bit of audience Q&A, and that will come out as a full episode in the next couple of weeks, so look out for that. We spoke, of course, about Corentin. I asked them about new material, so that will get answered on the episode when I drop it. But yeah, great seeing those guys again, and it was only a few hours later when I got to see them take to the stage in the Grand Hall and lay that entire fucking venue to waste with a phenomenal performance. David Gray's drumming was like, Gatling gun wielded by Satan himself. But every single man in that band sounded in absolutely top form. Jason sounded like he had turned the clock back by about 20 years as far as his vocals were concerned. Naturally, they played all of the material off of Corentin. Highlights for me were a absolutely blistering performance of Enraptured by Evil. Scapegoat sounded great. Son of Morning, I mean, one of my favorite songs ever. Becoming the Adversary, possibly my favorite song ever. And then they treated us to a non-Corentin track right at the end, when they played Verdelay off of Words Ago That's Go Unspoken and the Deeds That Go Undone. So, Tier 1, top-notch performance. Probably the best I have seen them play since I think this was 2007, the Day Into Night Festival at the Camden Underworld, which to me is still like the absolute peak of fucking live extreme music. Anyway, moving swiftly along, Dodheimsgard were up next, or at least I caught Dodheimsgard next. Black Medium Current was the record that they performed today. One of the things that was so impressive about the show, and yes, they had the lights, they had genuinely incredible light show, a phenomenal atmosphere. They've got the songs, obviously, but the number of performers that they had on stage, and they did not make a single mistake. The sound was crystal clear. You could hear everything from the bass through to the backup singers. They had 3 backup singers on stage. And at one point I was listening quite carefully and trying to hear whether or not there was any additional backing tracks being used. I don't know whether they did, but honestly, it didn't sound like that to me. It just sounded like an incredibly dynamic and organic performance that happened to be note perfect. And I'll tell you another thing that was a true standout about that performance. With a light show, with everything that they bring to the stage, they truly make you feel like you are inhabiting those tracks from Black Medium Current in a way that I've rarely experienced with another band. So if you ever get the opportunity to see Dodheimsgard, fucking run. Put the tickets on your credit card, steal your mama's, steal your grandma's checkbook if you have to, but make sure that you do not miss them. We also saw Whoredom Rife in the Ocean Room, which is the smaller room on the opposite end of the venue. They were really good as well, really nice build-up. They had this cool medieval music playing for the 10 minutes or so before the band took to the stage. Then they came on and was foot to the floor, all business, my style of black metal. One thing that I will say though, when you have relentlessly aggressive, brutal, blasting black metal, kind of by the time that you reach track 4 in a set like that, it starts to feel like they have presented you with everything that they are going to show you, for their time on stage. And I did have a little bit of that with Whoredom Rife. Nothing wrong with their performance. They were tight, they were aggressive, they meant every fucking note that they were playing. But after seeing Akakoka and Dodheimsgard back to back, the bar was going to be very, very high. So, around the 5th song, we made our way back to the Ocean Room because we also wanted to make sure, not the Ocean Room, sorry, the Grand Hall. We also wanted to make sure that we got a decent spot for Old Man's Child. Now, Old Man's Child, much has been said of the Old Man's Child revival, and Golder has clearly learnt a huge amount in his time with Dimmu Borgir, not just about songcraft and performance, but about just putting on a show and engaging an audience. He was lapping up and relishing every second that he was on stage and that he was in that frontman position, and he was giving it to the audience and they were giving it right back to him. They played a fucking stunning set, very diverse from, I think they pretty much covered the entire Old Man's Child discography. Yeah, just overall worthy of a headliner slot. I thought that was fantastic. So overall, top-notch day one. I am now goddamn exhausted, so I'm going to grab me a shower, turn in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning on day 2 at Fortress Festival. We are just busy getting ready, and then we're going to hit the road straight to the Grand Hotel, where I'm going to be interviewing Yusuf from Dodheim's Guard. Straight after that, we are heading to the venue because I have it on very good authority that there is a huge announcement coming about the 2027 headliner. So I'm going to see if I can track down a couple of people to talk to about that. I am also going to be doing a whole bunch more interviews. I will take you on a tour of the building. And yes, I know I did that in 2025. But inconceivably, some people might be watching into the Necrosphere for the very first time. So I will show you what Scarborough Spa looks like. And of course, we are also going to be checking out some bands. Top of my list today, without a doubt, Mysterium. So without any further ado, let me finish up here and then we'll get to it. All right, so from the cushy confines of the press room, I will show you what the rest of the venue looks like. If you saw my venue walkthrough last year, I'm probably not going to show you a whole bunch of stuff that you don't yet know, but last time we couldn't get in here, so let's show you what this looks like. So that was something that they've introduced this year that they didn't have last year, which is the Dungeon Synth stage. So they had the forum talks across 2 days last year. This year they are doing it over like the forum talks were one day, and Dungeon Synth is another day. Right, as we make our way down the stairs, we see folks coming out of the grand hall. One of the things they have absolutely tweaked this year has been stage quality and production quality. I mean, it's really, really outstanding, really world class. They've done a fantastic job of making the video screen seem, or the video screen look really pro. As you can see, you've got those additional screens on the side of the stage. It just looks absolutely fucking awesome. All right, let's move on. So from the Grand Hall, which like I said earlier, gets you about, I think 1,500 people. There's seating at the top as well. If you're like me, you've got them sore feet and you don't want to stand for the whole fucking day. Then we've got merch. Loads of t-shirts and whatnot that you can buy. And then right out here is where we got the food. But if we make our way in here, we then can walk to the ocean room. The ocean room has been accessed differently for the public this year. You actually queue on the roof, basically. That is not where I will be queuing, but I did want you to see just what the venue looks like. I don't know if there's a band playing right now, but if there isn't, well, this, as everybody should know, is the great and powerful AV from Abduction.
Not feeling very powerful at the minute, Jack.
What did you get up to last night? Let me just take my mic off so we can hear the sordid details.
I had an early night last night, but it's a very, very long weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you're always here, you're always helping, and you know, I see you on stage, I see you at the merch booths and stuff like that. What do you do? What's your role when Fortress kicks off?
I'm just part of the Ocean Room crew this year, so just kind of a bit of everything over there. But I've managed the stage. I was helping out with some band merch for Black Salice as well this year, so because they don't do their own merch, obviously they're mysterious. Okay. So
you have to be.
So
you want to get ahead in this game.
Yeah, and running around, moving things and tuning things and whatever else. And
awesome. All right.
So kind of a team of people that just do different.
Yeah.
Everybody jumps in when they need to.
It feels like a very grassroots. Yeah. Grassroots.
It is.
Which
I don't have a
makes it
fixed
so
title
cool.
or anything.
No.
It's just like, you know.
You have a fixed salary, is my question.
It's never enough, Jackie.
I've seen you running around in the Ferrari.
Are you having a good time?
I am very much indeed. Yeah. No, I would say this year has been probably the most fun I've had at Fortress. Last year I thought it was really good. I think this year set the bar even higher.
Amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
We're trying. Have you seen the announcement, obviously?
I most certainly have.
We can talk about it now, so yeah.
Yeah, I have. Well, let me have my wife let me have the producer just hold the camera, because as things stand right now, my shoulder can only deal with so much. But yeah, let's talk about the headliner.
Yeah, we can do.
So, for anybody that didn't see, doesn't know, Emperor headlining 2027.
Yep.
I mean, that is absolutely fucking mega. Mega.
Yeah, we were looking at the forum and trying to get people to guess early on, yesterday and today.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh no, they'll never manage that. They'll never manage that.
It was definitely like
It's good to see.
Once in a while I'll post on the forums, and it was certainly like up there. It was on the wish list.
Yeah.
But and it's such a big name to get. It's such. I mean, really, in many ways, such a validation for Fortress, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not going to take any credit for it. It's nothing to do with me. But it's
you mean they're not playing here because they have the opportunity to play alongside AV.
It was the offer was made, and then my name was mentioned, and it was no.
And they said, well,
we'll
go for half the fee.
I think he knows what he's doing. He's booking big bands. He's in those kind of conversations. So it's good job on him. Yeah.
Well, it just so happens that you mentioned yesterday you guys might be releasing some new music, so right in time to be on that Grand Hall stage as well next year.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
I hope so. I mean, you know my thoughts on your show last year.
That would be great. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know. I can't speak for that, but yeah, maybe that'd be awesome.
Wow.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, we're putting a new record together. It'll be finished, as in assembled, ready in the summer by August sometime. And then we'll see what happens after that. We're not in a rush. We're not taking it pretty steady. But, life's got in the way a lot this last year.
Yeah,
now
you're
I've got
a busy man with responsibilities.
Yeah. Now I've got a bit more space to really knuckle down on it. But I don't think these things should be rushed.
No,
need
definitely
to be done.
not.
Need to be done at their own pace.
Well, you've also set a very high bar with the previous record, so you got something to. I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you've got something to live up to.
Yeah, no, I feel that definitely.
I'm going to turn the screw. I'm going to call you every day. Hey,
is it ready yet?
Is it ready? I just want to hear one of the riffs, just to make sure it doesn't disappoint.
Just give me a sprinkle. Just give me a sprinkle of a riff. I will do. I will do that for you, Jackie.
Now, here's a question: Who's on the wish list for you for 2027?
For Fortress?
Yeah. I'm going to take a guess and say Destroyer 666.
Horner would be great.
Oh, dude. I've implored Gary to get Horner on.
I think he needs to put more finished stuff on, but I know
agree.
People will get upset with a lot of those.
Horner.
Behexen, fuck yes. Yeah. Big bands, I don't know. I mean, you can always go bigger, can't you? You can always do like Dimmu or something like that, but I mean, I'm not very impressed with the new Dimmu.
No, it's all right.
Maybe something like
better than the previous one.
Doing like For All Tid or something, that'd be great. Doing like old stuff, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, mate.
I'm trying not to say any of the names that are.
I'm about to say you know.
I don't know. I know nothing until it's announced, but names float around. So, but I'm not going to fucking. I'll get myself in trouble.
All right. Well, always good to see you, my man.
Well, maybe it's a double bluff. Maybe I mentioned that. I didn't.
Well, when Horner gets announced, I'm gonna go. Yeah. Maybe he gave it away.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Dude,
sick.
Big time. All right, thank
nice
you very much,
man.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Thanks for catching me, Gonzo.
All right, so let's make our way up the stairs to the ocean room. I've got to tell you, thank God for this press pass, because I am not a man who's comfortable with queuing, and people have had to queue their fucking asses off to get into the ocean room. So I take these perks where I can find them. So we've got some full-scale action going at the moment. I'll just walk in here so you can see what it looks like. I'm gonna make my way outside. We just caught the tail end of This Gift is a Curse. But yeah, there you go. You've seen the Grand Hall, you've seen the theatre, you've seen the ocean room. If you are going to buy yourself a ticket for 2027, I suggest you make a move on that fucking quick, fast, and in a hurry, because especially with Emperor being announced as the headliner, it's going to get, it's going to get sold out pretty quickly, I think. So we've just come full circle back to the press room where we started this this venue tour. And with me, I have got Dominic. Do you want to give yourself a proper introduction?
Yeah, so my name's Dominic. If you're brave enough, my surname is Athanasiou. If you're not Greek or Cypriot, you probably don't know how to pronounce that. That's fine. But yeah, I handle the PR at Fortress Festival. Have my own PR agency, help events like Fortress and bands and record labels to get the word out about what they do.
Who do you represent, out of interest? We just want to check that you're not a poser.
Getting the facts right. Okay, cool. There's record labels like Pagan Records, it's a historic label from Poland, especially in black metal scene. The Circle Music from Greece. There's Awful Fest in Manchester as well, and a bunch of others. I work with Ulcerate on a couple of their tours and other big and small bands.
I think whilst that racket is carrying on, let's move out to the outside to a more romantic spot, and then we can carry the conversation on there. That feels a little bit more civil. So, what I wanted to ask you first of all is, how do you feel the weekend has gone so far?
It's quite smooth sailing. I mean, it's been fantastic so far. From a press point of view as well. You and all the other guys are
Me
especially you. I mean, always red carpet for you. But yeah, it's been, I think, band-wise as well, it's been going fairly smooth in terms of performances and interviews. Happy so far.
How busy do you normally get? Like, if you think about just time invested in Fortress 2026, as things stand right now, how busy would you already be with Fortress 2027?
Oh, we're already full steam ahead. I mean, the Gary and the team are they obviously they do the hard work of booking the bands, and I think most of 2027 is booked, and 2028 is probably in the works as well. At least initial plans for that. We already have the first press release ready for the first announcement, and I have an idea of the next few announcements as well. Yeah. But I won't tell you yet. Sorry.
As soon as the camera goes down, the torture begins. So, speaking of announcements, obviously today there was a fucking massive announcement in that it's Emperor that's playing. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's massive, isn't it?
Huge. I was saying to AV, and sorry to interrupt you, but I was saying to AV, I think, not that the festival needs it, but it's genuine validation for the festival that a band of that caliber is going to headline the 5th anniversary. Yeah,
I mean, people have different associations with the band, but when I think of Emperor, I think of their Live at Wacken video. And that's just massive, and to have them here in Scarborough, and at Fortress for the 5th anniversary, it's obviously they're one of the one of the most important black metal bands. So it's for me, it's going to be an honor to be working with and at a festival that has Emperor here.
Yeah. I've got one last question for you, and it's always been something that I've wondered myself. I mentioned it on the walk over here. If we look at the idyllic surroundings, this isn't exactly the first place you think of when you think of, I want to book me a metal festival, black metal festival actually, in a place that is, that is this picturesque. Why do you think it works? Because it does. I mean, it's become a genuine destination festival now. And I think it is our equivalent of, when I say our, I mean the UK's equivalent of Beyond the Gates, I feel at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you described it initially, picturesque. I think that's what makes it special, even though that's not what you'd associate black metal with. I mean, people have different associations with black metal, and probably a lot of negative associations, but at the end of the day, we're all people and we like nice things. And I mean, it has a mix of location, and the people that the organizers. I think usually you work at a company, with at companies, culture comes from up down.
Yeah.
So if the organizers are good, they'll kind of, what's the word, push that culture down in a way. So I think that's what we have here. We have that perfect in a way atmosphere for this type of event, and it's like a perfect. All the ingredients are here. You got that. You got the sea and the location, and you've got an amazing lineup of exclusives that you won't get anywhere else or in limited places.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes it special.
Well, brother, it is an absolute pleasure for me to be involved in this, and look forward to many more years of cooperation. But congratulations on a great year, and looking forward to seeing you in 2027.
Thank you.
All right, friends, we are at the end of day 2 of Fortress Festival, the end of Fortress Festival 2026, and I had an absolute blast. Day started off with that interview with Yusuf from Dodheimsgard. Then I caught wind of the headliner for 2027, Emperor. Absolutely massive announcement. So I headed down to the venue. I managed to catch up with a couple of good friends, including the great and powerful NECROSHORNS. Recorded an interview with him. I also caught up with a bunch of the Legion. So thank you very, very much to every single person who came over to me and told me how much they appreciate the podcast. I really appreciate all of you. And I was genuinely touched by some of the kind words that came from you. You know that I do this podcast entirely for you. And I really, really appreciate the support. Highlight bands from the day. Without a shadow of a doubt, Mysterium were the de facto headliner of day 2. Potentially my band of the festival. I've seen them twice previously, once in 2024 at Inferno, once at Beyond the Gates last year, and then I saw them this year. Every single time I catch them, they are better and better. Today was transcendental, I think is probably the best way to describe it. Utterly intense. I'm kind of lost for words, to be quite honest with you. DG, the frontman for those of you guys that don't know, has so much charisma, so much stage presence, and so much swagger, and he just sounds, looks, and plays better every single time that I see Mysterium. The whole band was on fire, and they finally did my favorite Mysterium song, Engin Verkoon. We also saw Abigail Williams, very good. They had a spot of bother at some point during their set, and actually I interviewed Ken Sorceron from Abigail Williams, so he explained this to me. It was a British adapter plug, I think plugged into one of their pedal boards that came unstuck, and that kind of threw things into disarray, but they recovered like pros, turned in a great set. Caught the tail end of Winterland from side stage. That was fucking sensational. And then, of course, I've already spoken about Mysterium. I caught the set that Darkened Nocturne Slaughter Cult turned in the Ocean Room, and then I decided to call it a night. Once again, let me just stress, if I didn't see all the bands that you were looking forward to seeing or that you count amongst your favorites, that is not a personal insult aimed at you, but the day just gets really, really busy. And as I said, I had interviews and things like that to do as well. Overall impressions of Fortress 2026, even better than last year, in my opinion. I know there were a few complaints on Facebook about things like accessibility, the security being a little bit overzealous. I do feel like, in fairness, there's a distinction here between what the promoters control and what is controlled by the venue. I thought, at least from what I could tell, that the accessibility issues had been sorted out today. If they didn't, I'm sure they will be next year. But, overall, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. Great community, great vibe, great people. I want to say massive thank you to Gary and Reaper Agency for once again making me a part part of this. I also want to give a big shout out to Dom, who I spoke to earlier on in the video. What a fucking man's man, an absolute pro, and such a pleasure to work with. And then again, as I said, to all the Legion, thank you very much. To everybody that I interviewed and who gave me some of their time, I really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed yet to Into the Necrosphere, make sure you change that, because all those interviews that I recorded are going to be coming your way over the course of the next couple of weeks. If you are a long-serving member of the Legion, you got a very, very cool couple of episodes coming your way. And on that note, my friends, I'm going to bid you a fond farewell as the sun sets slowly over Scarborough. It has been a phenomenal Fortress 2026, and I am very excited and looking forward to Fortress 2027.
Bear witness to my testimony. The things that I have done, unforgivable.